What better way to celebrate a holiday season than to cook? Oh man, I love cooking. Well, not really, but I do love enjoying and eating the food way more than I do cooking it. Since we are currently in the holiday season, I thought it made sense to go ahead and make some very delicious and appetizing dishes. But we are going to do so in Paper Mario. After obtaining Tayce's frying pan, which was stolen by the Shy Guys in Chapter 4 of Paper Mario and taken into the Shy Guys toy box, you will be able to return it to her, as well as a cookbook that is found by giving Gourmet Guy a nice delicious cake, which she will make you upon returning her frying pan. And then once the cookbook is returned to Tayce, she will then be able to cook more than one ingredient at a time, a max of 2. However, that is needed in order to complete the full recipe list in the game. So by doing so, you can then cook every single dish that she has to offer. So what better way to celebrate the holiday season than to go through the entire recipe list in Paper Mario one by one and basically showing you where to get the ingredients, what ingredients are needed for each recipe, so on and so forth. In addition to showing where all the ingredients are found, I am also going to be rating the recipes out of a scale of 1 to 10 and also describing how I would eat them, where I would eat them if I was given the delicious food items that we get from making these ingredients. First recipe we are going to be gathering ingredients for is an apple pie. So what we need to do is actually go ahead and head over to the Toad Town Tunnels entrance. Going to the left into this tunnel, down in Toad Town Tunnels, you will find a hidden warp pipe. This warp pipe will take you to none other than Boo's mansion, which is located just outside of Forever Forest, which you can actually enter from that part of the game as well. Either going through the Forever Forest or taking the warp pipe, you can then enter Boo's mansion. Going into this room in the northeast on the first floor right here, if you remember these boxes, you can actually use the spin jump or the tornado jump, whichever one you have, which either one will work, to break open this box on the bottom right here containing an apple, first ingredient needed for the apple pie. Now the second ingredient is actually going to be located back at the Shy Guys toy box. So if you remember this lone house right here in the beginning of the game where it was kind of quiet and everything, well, once you have started Chapter 4, you will discover that it is the entrance to the Shy Guys toy box, where Tayce's frying pan was actually stolen and taken to. The blue station is the first station that you will arrive at upon entering Shy Guys toy box, and you want to make your way over to the very far left of the blue station. Over here to this room with a bunch of Shy Guys holding various items. Now I equipped the spin attack badge, that way I can quickly grab these cake mixes that are located in this room, making it very easy just to kind of quickly grab your items. And as you can see, there are several other items for us to grab, which we will be doing later on. But for now, we'll grab these 2 cake mixes and head back to Tayce Tea. Back at Tayce Tea's home, we want to go ahead and talk to her so we can whip up our first recipe, the apple pie. Oh, it's Mario. Hi there. Would you like me to cook something? Which ingredient would you like me to use? So we'll go ahead and give her the apple, which we just acquired from Boo's mansion, as well as one of the cake mixes that we just grabbed in Shy Guys toy box. Giving her both ingredients, she will then whip us up our first recipe with both apple and cake mix. I'll whip something special up just for you, honey. It'll be fabulous. Just a moment. She's going to do this lovely little thing that I love where she sings as she's cooking. You got to get in the holiday spirit, one way or another. And here you are. This recipe's not too bad. Here, please. And then she will finally cook us up the apple pie, the first recipe on the list. 1 down, many more to go. This is going to be quite an adventure in itself. Come back anytime, hun. I look forward to it. Alright, so 1 down and many more to go. So we're going to move on to the next recipe on the list. For the next recipe, we're going to also head down into the Toad Town tunnels, or the sewers, if you will. Head over to this room as soon as you enter the tunnels on the very left of it. And we want to go into this third warp pipe right here, which will bring us to none other than Goomba Village. This is actually the home of Goombario, where his family lives. Hitting this tree right here with a hammer of any kind, of course, you will obtain a goom nut, one of the ingredients we will need for the next recipe. Heading back to Tayce Tea, we will now be able to cook the goom nut as one of the ingredients for this next recipe. And those things always remind me of Buckeyes. I don't know what it is. I'm not from Ohio, but those things look delicious, and I love Buckeyes. Giving her a cake mix with the goom nut, we will be able to make the next recipe on the list. So let's see what she's going to whip up for us this time around. Tra-la-la-la-la. All done. It smells delicious. Here, please take it. So with those two ingredients, she will make us a big cookie. A huge cookie baked by Tayce Tea, which restores 20 FP. Not too bad for an FP refill. Something that I would eat while watching TV, sitting down on the couch, or maybe comfy in bed, who knows. Next stop is going to be Koopa Village, where we are going to be looking for an ingredient that is only found, I believe, in this location. We're going to go ahead and pull out Cooper since this is his hometown or home village, if you will, just because it's just kind of fitting. And if you actually search one of these bushes, and I believe it's this one right here on the left, you will find none other than a Koopa leaf. It's a leaf found in Koopa Village, restores 3 FP. Sure, I will take a quiz. Then let's go to the question. Question. What will you receive when you get the right answer in a quiz? It's a me. No, it's Star Piece. Yeah, I love Chuck Quizmo, and I can't really turn down having an opportunity to take part in one of his quizzes. Gosh, this guy's awesome, even though he's creepy looking. Returning to Tayce Tea with our ingredients, we are now going to make the next recipe up for bid. We're going to give her Koopa Leaf and the Goom Nut. And she's going to whip us up something special once again. And we get the bland meal in exchange. This restores 10 HP, 10 FP, something that I would eat at maybe a gathering, small gathering that I wouldn't be quite fond of. Next stop is to the very south of Toad Town. We will find a train station, which this guy is essentially the conductor of, or the manager of, I'm not sure what you would call him. He's going to ask us to get on the train, so we get to take a nice little train ride to another location where we will find another vital ingredient to one of the next recipes we will be making. Sit tight, folks. Now departing for Mount Rugged. All aboard. Man, this is probably one of the best parts of this game, just riding on this train. Man, I love trains. You get to enjoy a nice little train ride, and oh my gosh, dude, this was a game released for the N64. Look at the detail on those wheels. Like, those things look so freaking awesome. I just can't put words to it. Once we have arrived at our final destination, which of course is Mount Rugged, we will be able to find one of the ingredients we need right here next to the train station. Mount Rugged, Mount Rugged. Passengers heading for Dry Desert or Dry Outpost should proceed directly over to Mount... Yeah, okay, so we don't need to really care about that. But all we have to really care about is this bush right here, which contains an egg. Restores 5 HP, no big deal, but we will be needing it. Just like any typical recipe in real life. Heading back over to Boo's mansion, instead of entering the mansion, we can actually find another ingredient in one of these bushes right here. This is a strange leaf. Very rare leaf, restores 5 FP. Heading back to Tayce Tea, we can go ahead and give her the egg, as well as a strange leaf, and she will be able to whip up something interesting for us here. And it is a boiled egg, restores 8 HP and 8 FP, something I would eat when I'm bored or have nothing else in the fridge. So I had to return back to Shy Guy's toy box to get some more cake mixes, and I couldn't help but notice that I never pulled the switch right here, which essentially is stopping the train from maneuvering through this area here. Not a huge deal, but for some reason, this is actually a save file that is completely done as far as like getting through the end of the game. And I'm just not sure why I didn't do this before, so I went ahead and pulled the lever now because it was just kind of bothering me. OCD, you win again. We should have moved that lever a long time ago. Yeah, even this guy's calling me out. I should have. Back to Tayce, we'll give her one of the cake mixes that we have. And we actually just need to use only it in order to create our next recipe. And it is a cake, something I would definitely enjoy maybe on a birthday. Traveling back down into the Toad Town tunnels, if we go down to through that hole, you will notice there is a sushi pad where you can swim across the water using her. Entering this warp pipe will actually allow us to enter Lava Lava Island, or Yoshi's Island. You can also get there by traveling on this whale, who is located at the very west of Toad Town in the port. And kind of cool, you get this little cutscene where we get to do a little splashy splashy. Up by the seagulls, Mario goes. So whichever way you decide to make your way to Yoshi's village in Mount Lava or Lava Lava Island, whether it's warp pipe or whale, come over here to this tree to grab a coconut because we will be needing it for the next recipe. Give her the coconut and the cake mix. And she will give you a cake pop. Just kidding, it's a cocoa pop. A sweet candy made by Tayce, restores 3 HP and 15 FP, something I would eat if I was stopping at a coffee shop. I'm gonna go actually head into the shop here in Toad Town, just west of the screen where Tayce's house is. And I'm actually gonna go ahead and pull out some items that I will be needing for some recipes. There's a Wacka Bump that we're gonna need, which you can actually get by hitting Wacka, who's actually located here at Mount Rugged, where we just got the egg not too long ago. You just want to come to this very first screen here, go east over here for a little bit, and then you'll travel downwards, eventually finding Wacka. Hitting him with the hammer will give you Wacka's Bump. Giving Wacka's Bump and Strange Leaf to Tayce, she will cook us up something very special. And it is a deluxe feast. Huge HP and FP recovery, 40 on each of them. Something I would eat if I was very much hungry and looking for something delightful during a Thanksgiving meal. Give her the Strange Leaf, just by itself. And she doesn't exactly know what this is, but sometimes experiments turn out to be great. And she will give us a Dizzy Dial, something that is actually one of the common items found in the game, but you can whip one up for free by just giving her a Strange Leaf. Going back into Shy Guy's toy box, we will actually need to find another item that one of these Shy Guys hold in their mitts. And it is a fire flower, a very common item in the game. You can buy it in most shops, find in various locations in the game. But entering Shy Guy's toy box, you can find one for freezies right here. Give it to Tayce along with an egg, and she will cook us up something interesting. And it is an egg missile, an egg bomb made by Tayce, which we can throw it into enemies to damage them. We gave her a Volt Shroom as well as a cake mix. She will give us an Electro Pop, something I would eat if I was in a candy shop and got struck by lightning at the same time. We're going to take this warp pipe on the very left in that group of warp pipes that we took to Koopa Village and Goomba Village. And we will enter Dry Outpost. Leaving just outside of Dry Outpost, we will find the Dry Desert. Now this is where we're going to find our next ingredient, which is a little bit more tricky to find, but you basically want to hit any of these trees that you find, as well as take on some pokey enemies, which we will find as well. We are looking for a dried fruit. The only way to get it is, again, to either destroy enough pokies, or by hitting these various trees, which can take quite a bit of time. I hope this doesn't take too long. Alright, let me see if we can take these guys down. Give them a good power quake. No luck there. Oh, get away from me, dude. Alright, after so many attempts, and I'm not even kidding you, I didn't show this all on screen, but this probably took me, I don't know, I think I attacked maybe 20 Pokies, and I could not get any of them to spawn this dried fruit, for gosh sakes. We have finally, at last, found our dried fruit. We're going to give it to Tayce tea, as well as the strange leaf that we found up just outside of Boo's mansion. And she will cook us up a fire flower. Again, a very common item you can purchase or find in the game, but this is the way you can actually cook it up. If we mix a cake mix with a fire flower, she will make us a fire pop, something that I would eat if I had burned my on the stove while having a sugar rush. Now, if you cook the egg by itself, it will give you one of the most basic ingredients in real life as well, a fried egg. Very delicious, something I would eat during breakfast while on vacation in the Bahamas. Next, we're going to head back into Shy Guy's toy box, ruin this Shy Guy's life to get a mushroom. And then we're going to head back to Tayce tea. We're going to go ahead and cook the mushroom just on its own, and we will get a fabulous reward for it. And it is going to be a fried shroom, something I would eat at a fancy restaurant while in the mood for mushrooms. Next, we're going to actually head over to this lonely house right here with nobody in it besides a warp pipe, and we're going to take this little shortcut over to Shiver City. We're going to walk past this creepy guy with the beard because he isn't up to no good. We're not really interested in what he's selling, to go into this next warp pipe right here. This will take us to, yet again, another area in Toad Town Tunnels. Again, a shortcut I like to take over to Shiver City because it's the fastest way to get there once you have access to this part of Toad Town Tunnels. Go through this blue door to find yet again another warp pipe. Surprise, surprise. Go into this little frozen section and we can go enter Shiver City through this warp pipe right here with the ice on it. While arriving at Shiver City, gotta love the music here, we can actually go ahead and we can actually go inside of this toad house to find a plethora of mushrooms there we're not going to need quite yet, but we can actually rest our pretty little head at this toad house. Sweet dreams. After waking up, we will notice that there is an ice potato that is conveniently just placed on this table right here, so we can pick it up for another ingredient we will need for another recipe. Feel free to take in this music as we leave Shiver City. We're now going to mix a fire flower with an ice potato, and she will cook us up some frozen fries, something I would eat if I was in the mood for fast food while running a mile. Now, if you head over to Rusty's place, he's actually located just in the northwest part of Toad Town, right by the entrance leading from Goomba Village. You can actually talk to him for... oh my gosh, I never gave him the dictionary? What is my life? I never gave him the dictionary. Alright, so I had to make a detour back into Shy Guy's toy box because I'm an idiot and for some reason completed this game on the save file from probably 2009. Never went over here and, oh my goodness, I didn't get the freaking mystery note either. Oh my, are you kidding me? Why did I not do this? And why did I engage in battle instead of just using the spin attack? I'm a dumb. We'll go ahead and grab this mystery note because unfortunately I'd never grabbed this even though I finished the game on this file all the way. And we'll come up here. I can't believe I did this. Yeah, how did I go? How did I complete the game and not do any of this part at all? Was I trying to speedrun this? I'm not a speedrunner. I'm terrible at speedrunning, so I don't know how this happened. We'll grab the dictionary, head back to Rusty, and I'm sure I didn't get the star piece under here, did I? Nope, I did not. Wow, I'm stupid. Now that we can return back to Rusty with his dictionary, and we can actually give him the mystery note as well, we'll give him the dictionary first. He'll give us a star piece in return, and I can actually show off what I wanted to show off with Rusty. Yeah, we can give him that mystery note. Yeah, that chest was open. So I took on Anti-Guy, but I never went and got the dictionary. I'm weird. Alright, so what I want to actually show off is if you talk to Rusty enough times, he will give you this hint about Yoshis living on Lava Lava Island. Perhaps because their tropical island is so colorful, Yoshis themselves are many different colors. It seems they have different personalities depending on their body colors. They all love food, but yellow Yoshis seem to really delight in delicacies. Next time you see the yellow Yoshi, try giving it something delicious. Hint, hint, trust me, it'll be happy. So if we take Rusty's advice before going back into Yoshi Village, which is located in Lava Lava Island, we can go talk to this yellow Yoshi right here. Something smells really good. Is that delicious smell coming from something you're carrying? Whatever it is, I want to try it. Come on, what is it? Yes, we can actually give the yellow Yoshi a limited amount of recipes that we have made from Tayce Tea. We'll give him a fried egg to start off. Oh, it looks so good, thank you. Oh yeah, here, why don't you take this as a thank you from me? It grows in a place that only I know about. Trust me, it's good. And he will give us a melon, a actually vital ingredient we will need for another recipe coming up. We're going to go ahead and give him something else because we're going to need 2 melons. We'll give him the frozen fries. He's going to say the same thing he just said. And we'll get a second melon from him. Again, very important to grab these because this is an easy way to cook up some other recipes coming up here next. We'll go ahead and give Tayce Tea the special shake, which I will show you how to cook that here in a minute. I did that off screen. And we'll combine it with the strange leaf to get the healthy juice. Very healthy. I would eat this probably if I was on a diet in a lounge somewhere in the city. So we're now going to head over to this shop right here, which is located in the northwest part of Toad Town, and we're going to go ahead and buy a honey syrup because we're going to need that for our next recipe. Sure, I'll try a quiz. We're going to combine the honey syrup with a cake mix to get a honey candy, and I would eat this if I was stung by a bee while visiting a candy shop. Next, we're going to combine a mushroom with the honey syrup. And Tayce Tea is going to make us a honey shroom, something I would eat if I was being mauled by a bear in a forest and had nothing else to eat. We're going to now combine a super shroom with the honey syrup. And we will get a honey super, something I would eat if I was in the mood for something blue while being mauled by a bear in a forest. And of course, you guessed it, the ultra shroom and honey syrup will make a honey ultra, something I would eat if I was being mauled by 10 bears and was hungry. Taking a stroll back to Boo's mansion, we can't miss the opportunity to get almost killed by this big chandelier that will lunge at us if we try to open that treasure chest. Nothing important in that, of course. But if we go all the way to the south part of the second floor, we can actually jump down here to this little shop here that is ran by Igor, and we can find a life shroom for 50 coins. He sells it in the shop. Another ingredient we'll be needing for the next recipe. Give Tayce Tea the life shroom to cook with and don't combine it with anything else. She will give us a hot shroom, something I would eat if I was in a fancy restaurant and was in the mood for some mushrooms. Next, we're going to give Tayce Tea a cake mix combined with the jam and jelly to get a jelly pop, something I would eat if I was being stung by the jellyfish in the ocean and was in the mood for some candy. We're now going to mix the mushroom with the jam and jelly. And we will get a jelly shroom, something I would eat if I was in a forest and had nothing else to eat. Super shroom and jam and jelly will make us a jelly super, something I would eat if I was in the mood for something blue in a forest and had nothing else to eat. And of course, an ultra shroom and jam and jelly make a jelly ultra, something I would save for the final chapter of Paper Mario. We're going to go down back into the Toad Town tunnels to revisit Koopa Village. We're going to go ahead and grab another Koopa leaf while we are here. And yeah, I'm not sure what the heck's going on in that house, but they are having some sort of crazy party from what it looks like. Go ahead and grab the Koopa leaf and we will go grab our other ingredient that we need. If we mix a Koopa leaf with a cake mix, Tayce Tea will make us a kooky cookie, something I would eat if I was in the mood for a snack while seeing my therapist. Sure, I'll try a quiz. So now that we have made it back to Dry Outpost via the Toad Town tunnels, we want to go ahead and visit its shop because they sell something that we can only get here and we need it as another ingredient for a recipe. It is a dry pasta. We can buy it for 3 coins. Go ahead and buy this thing and head back to Tayce Tea. Alright, so if we cook with the Koopa leaf and the dry pasta, Tayce Tea will make us some pasta. I would eat this if I was in the mood to do some favors for Koopa Coop. If we make the Koopa leaf by itself, we actually get just the Koopa tea. Get it? Cup of tea? Koopa tea? Something I would eat if I was in the mood for some horrible puns. We're now going to enter Flower Fields via the store right here in the flower garden located in the northeast part of Toad Town. And upon entering Flower Fields, we actually want to go ahead and head over to the southwest section of Flower Fields, not the west section that I'm going to here. Now, in the southwest section of Flower Fields, you can actually find this in other parts as well. If you go along the wall here, one of these vines will drop you a stinky herb, one of the ingredients that we can substitute for many others, for many recipes that require Koopa leaves and goom nuts. Heading back to Dry Desert, we want to head just directly west of Dry Outpost, and if you keep going south enough, you will find this little oasis. Very peaceful looking indeed, but if we hammer this tree on the very right, we will find a lime. There's another tree just about adjacent from it, which we can hammer as well, looking very similar to the first tree, which will drop us a lemon, two ingredients that are very vital for recipes coming up. If we cook with the lemon in a cake mix, Tayce will make us up a lemon candy, something I would eat in the desert if I was dying and had nothing better to do. If we combine a super shroom and a goom nut, we will get a life shroom, an item that you can get in the game normally by just buying it or finding it in various locations, something I would eat if I was close to death and had no other healing items. A lime in a cake mix will grant us a lime candy, something I would never eat this actually. Yeah, that just sounds gross. Back in Shy Guy's toy box, this guy right here is holding a maple syrup. We're going to need a few of these for some recipes coming up next. Cooking a mushroom with a maple syrup will make us a maple shroom, something I would eat for breakfast if living in the woods. Super shroom and maple syrup will give us a maple super, something I would eat in the woods for breakfast if I was in the mood for a blue colored item. And of course, an ultra shroom and maple syrup will give us a maple ultra, something I would eat for breakfast if I was living in the woods and being attacked by a bear. Alright, so we're actually going to go ahead and make a mistake, which is actually the only item that's pretty much worthless as far as recipes goes from Tayce. You can use any ingredient that's not a required ingredient for any recipe on the list. We're going to go ahead and use a shooting star because we don't really need it on this save file anymore anyways. And as you can see, oh, I'm sorry, this recipe didn't work out. Oh well, teehee. Yeah, so Tayce will actually make a mistake, which is essentially just an error in her cooking. Something I would never touch if I was dying of starvation. Going back into Shiver City, we went ahead and rested at the Toad House again to get another ice potato, and we'll grab one of these lone mushrooms as well for another recipe. We'll go ahead and give Tayce just a goom nut by itself, and she's going to make us something fabulous. And it is a nutty cake, something I would eat if I was allergic to nuts but still wanted cake. We're now going to cook an iced potato on its own to get a potato salad, something I would eat if I was in the mood for something healthy but didn't want to go to the store to get many ingredients. Combining a mushroom with a cake mix, we can actually get a shroom cake, a very delicious treat that I would eat if I was at somebody's birthday party or was just in the mood to pig out. A life shroom and a mushroom combined will make us a shroom steak, something I would eat for dinner if I was at a large gathering and was in the mood for mushrooms. Back at Flower Fields, we want to go ahead and hit one of these trees. It wasn't that tree, it wasn't that tree, it was not that tree. Oh. Actually want to come over here. This is the very southeast part of Flower Fields. We hit this tree, we will find red berries. We are going to need one of these colored berries for one of the next recipes. You can use any of the colored berries, red, blue, or yellow. I'm going to show them all off right here. The blueberries are going to be found just past this gate with the yellow flower. Go ahead and maneuver through this viney area. Sushi's not going to do it, so we're going to pull out lackluster. And once we get to the other side, oh, there's a Maisie Daisy right there. That's kind of cool. If we hammer this tree here, we will find the blueberries, and this is the one I'm actually going to use as the ingredient because blue is my favorite color. We'll ditch the red berries. Smack that, smack that, smack that. Oh boy, here it is. Look at that. A Maisie Daisy destroyed for all kinds of star points, and we should get some coins as well. And look at that, a level up. Very nice. Got to upgrade badge points, of course. Look at the coins. Money, 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 money. Get away from me. So we head to the southwest part of Flower Fields. We will find a tree located just right here for the yellow berries. Now time to use the blueberries with the strange leaf to get a sleepy sheep, another very basic and common item in the game. Not sure I would actually eat this. If we have Tayce cook us some dried pasta alone, she will make us some spaghetti, something I would eat if I was either at an Italian restaurant or on a tight budget. If we give Tayce just the melon by itself that we got from the yellow Yoshi, she will cook us something that we've actually already used as an ingredient, which is this special shake. Very nice, one of the easiest way of getting it. Again, just give yellow Yoshi one of your recipes you've already made. Something I would eat if I was on a diet in a health store. A fire flower being cooked by itself will give us a spicy soup. Something I would eat if I was very sick but also craving spicy food. A strange leaf combined with a cake mix will give us something kind of cool or strange. And it is a strange cake. Something I would eat with a stranger if I was in the mood for cake. Yeah, no, I wouldn't eat with a stranger. That would be weird. We can make a super soda from combining several different ingredients. The easiest way is just to give her a honey syrup on its own. Something I would drink if I was into drinking soda, which I'm not. Combining a cake mix with an ultra shroom will give us a sweet shroom. This would be something I would eat if I was in the mood for something sweet and also ultra. We go back to Flower Fields. If you notice in this section right here, there's actually a bubble tree in this watery area. We can hammer this tree to get a bubble berry because we can actually use this as another ingredient for a recipe coming up next. We cook with a coconut by itself, we will get a tasty tonic, something I would drink if I was out on the town and was feeling a little tipsy. Alright, so we're going to collect another dried fruit from these pokies. Luckily, this did not take nearly as long as it did the first time. If we combine the dried fruit with a Volt Shroom, Tayce will make us a Thunder Rage, another common attacking item in the game. I would eat this if I was in the mood to get struck by lightning. A mushroom combined with a Koopa Leaf will give us a Volt Shroom, something I would use to electrify myself while in battle in Paper Mario. A melon combined with a cake mix will give us a Yoshi cookie. This is probably my all-time favorite recipe out of the 50 recipes. Oh my gosh, look at Yoshi's face in it. It's so cute. I would eat this if I was riding a Yoshi and in the mood for a cookie. Our very last recipe, we can do this a few different ways. We can either use just a Whack-a-Bump, which is kind of boring. However, we can also use two recipes we've already made. The spaghetti combined with the potato salad. Tayce will take those ingredients, former recipes, tra-la-la-la-la, and she will cook us up something very special and worth it. Trust me, it smells delicious. All done. Here, please. It is the yummy meal, something I would eat if I was in the mood for something very yummy during the holiday season. Heals 20 HP, 20 FP. Not that great of an item, but not that bad as well. So yes, that's going to be it for my recipe hunt here. Hopefully you enjoyed this. Again, I wanted to do something kind of cool and fun for the holiday season. What better way than to cook up some recipes in Paper Mario? One of my favorite games of all time, of course, a childhood game growing up playing. Now, I don't know about you, but my favorite part of holiday season is Thanksgiving. So I live in the United States, and that is definitely a holiday that I think a lot of people celebrate and take full advantage of, just because you get to basically have an excuse to dig out on all kinds of good foods. So what better way to celebrate than to do it here in Paper Mario? So again, I want to wish everybody a happy holiday season, and I gotta say, all those recipes, making them all one by one makes me very mouth-watery and very hungry. And yeah, even Parakarry here is looking a little appetizing, I gotta say. You know what, Tayce, maybe we should whip up one more recipe. What do you say? Yes, honey, would you like me to cook you something? Now that you mention it...
Mario? Why are you looking at me like that? Oh,
Just to end off, if we go back to Mario's house and look at the sign that's hung up on the wall here, you will then see that we have officially completed all of Tayce's 50 recipes. You can see it marked on the wall as a milestone there. Very nice indeed, just something extra in case you wanted to kind of look at it in awe. So that is going to be it. Again, I wanted to just thank anyone that was watching this. And hopefully you can sit down and enjoy a nice meal sometime during this holiday season. Again, thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.